everybody, how's it going? So I got something in the mail today. It's called the Fret Zealot, and some light up fretboard system that works with LEDs and whatnot. You install on your guitar and then you program it with an app, and it basically lights up your fretboard and shows you where you need to put your fingers. And I figure, you know, for a guitar player like me, a little bit of help probably can't hurt. So tell you what, I'm gonna unbox it, I'm gonna install it, and I'm gonna show you guys what happens here. So let's take a look. UV eye protection. Interesting. Ooh, it's a Fret Zealot. Do I got two here? I got one for a 25.5-inch scale. Full scale guitar is 24.75 to 25.5. This one, this one's for 25.5. Okay, so this one will work with a slightly shorter scale. This one's for a full scale. I'm thinking about putting this on my Fender Strat though, because, well, it's a made in Mexico one and it wasn't too expensive. So I'm thinking that anyway. I'm gonna have to take a look at the instructions and see what works. But this one here might just do a contest for this for my patrons or something like that. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do a giveaway for all you guys. Doesn't look like too much to mail or send out, so maybe we'll give this away to one lucky viewer. We'll take a look. Let's just see how it goes. But let's see what we get in the box here. Clean fretboard. Oh, come on. Fit your Fret Zealot, remove the tape, attach the LED strips, bend over the neck, clip on the battery. All right. And there it is. Okay, doesn't look like too crazy here. Oh, we got some picks. Looks like a cable of some sort. I think this is, oh, that's where the battery goes, I think. A few little doohickeys and whatnots and what have yous. But yeah, we're gonna throw this up on my Strat and see what happens here. We're gonna cut to that right now. Now, the Fret Zealot is actually just powered by a little USB battery system right here. And this attaches to your headstock via a capo type system, and then a little cable which fits around the back. Real simple to attach to your guitar. Just put it on your headstock like so, and you're good to go. Cable plugs in right there. Fire it up, and away you go. I've got the Fret Zealot installed, and I got to play around with it last night, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. I think if I was just learning how to play guitar, if I was 15 or 16 again, I would have killed to have one of these things, because wow, does this ever lay everything out exactly as you need it. I gotta say, there's an integrated app, and it's magnificent. I was showing this to my wife last night, and first thing she asked me is, well, if it lights up, and where do I place my fingers? Well, it's color coded. First finger is blue, second finger is green, third is yellow, fourth is purple. So you can lay your fingers out and just play a chord, like so. There's your C major. Not bad, pretty simple stuff. Now, I've been playing since 1985, and believe me, I am not a great guitar player. I'm pretty decent at power chords, you know what I mean, and playing a few metal riffs, that kind of thing. But I never actually sat down and learned all, you know, the lower chords and shit like that. I know, you know, my A, my C, and a few others, but I'm not a theory guy, and I'm not super well versed in all the different, you know, end of the road chord formations down there. So this is something that, you know, I could play with and discipline with myself and bring up my skills pretty quickly with. Sure, I could go through chord charts and whatnot, but it is pretty neat to just have it kind of laid out on the fretboard there for you. What's really great is if you want to learn your scales, you got pretty much everything you'd ever want. I mean, like, okay, here's something I've been playing for years, which is, you know, let's go say major pentatonic, natural minor, which is a really good metal scale. And, you know, it just lays it out for you, and you can see exactly where you want, you know, where all the different notes are if you want to write a solo or something like that. And maybe you want to get outside of your own personal box. If you want to push past your limits, you're seeing exactly where the notes are. And you can just rip through it like that. And the great thing is, because of the app here, you know, it shows you where all your different octaves are. Now, of course, the Achilles heel here is it only goes to the 14th fret. It'd be really awesome if we had these extra 7 frets up here. Maybe they can do a 2-part module in the future where you could plug into the first one or something like that. That'd be really nice to see. That's so far my only gripe with this. Now, this is the thing. I only know a couple pentatonic scales and maybe a couple of minor scales, and that's about it. And that's after some 30 years of playing, because, you know, I'm just might be too fucking lazy to, you know, learn the rest of the stuff. Here's a great thing. If I want to go from, say, a natural minor to, say, let's pull that up to a Dorian mode. There it is. It's laid out for me, and I can now. Work on new formations and kind of explore things a little bit differently. The thing is, if I come across a melody I come up with that I like, I can commit that to memory by, you know, just repetition, that sort of thing. But the fact that it's all laid out here for me really does make things a lot easier and helps you visualize. Something like this can really help me push past my limits, because I'll admit I have a very hard time visualizing different scale formations on the neck. With something like this, with a visual aid like this definitely makes the whole process a lot easier. And I can only imagine this would really help an absolute beginner as well. Now, what's really great about the app is if you want to play something, you can pull up all kinds of songs, because there are just tons of them available. You know, I was looking at, what was I looking at? Midnight Mover here. Like, we pull up Accept Midnight Mover. This is a cool freaking song, and it had a great pattern. And I was messing around with this last night, and I'm looking, hey, this has a different pick pattern than I'm used to playing. And you can see it right on the fretboard. Now, what's great about this is that's the one piece. If I want to say, like, learn how to play Heart of the Lion by Judas Priest, which was like one of their B-sides, everything's right there. What's really great is there's the counterpoints. There's all the different guitar parts. There's bass lines, and yeah, you can see where all the bass lines are, all that kind of stuff. That's great. That works wonderfully. What's great is, you know, if you're having a trouble learning it, you can slow it down to half speed or 1/5 speed, and everything is laid out on the fretboard exactly where you need it to go. And as you get better, you can speed it up. Again, that's just super, super easy to learn stuff. Now, what's really great is they've got something called AI mode on here as well, which won't move anything forward until you play the chord as it's supposed to be. So we've got a couple of bar chords here. God, this is going to be embarrassing. That's one thing I gotta say. This I really liked about this is it just forced me to work outside my comfort zone and outside of my box by approaching things differently. And I've learned one thing in just one simple evening playing with this is, yeah, I need to practice an awful lot more, because probably have just only really scratched the surface of what you can really do on a guitar. And this is, like I said, after 3 decades of playing, it's like I've realized just how little I know about playing this instrument. Of course, that was the reason why I focused on, learning how to make records instead. I posted up an Instagram photo this last night, and one of the comments was, well, whatever happened to discipline and practice? And I'm thinking, well, this is a great way to discipline yourself and practice. And like I said, if you have a hard time visualizing chord patterns or scales on the fretboard, this is a wonderful tool. And like I said, you can commit this stuff to muscle memory as well as melody memory, and translate this onto another guitar very, very simply. The other bonus is that the Fred Zealot is not a permanent modification. If you do wish to take it off at some point, you can, and you can probably fit it onto another guitar at least once before the sticky stuff completely wears out. Now, another thing is, if you're an absolute beginner, they have courses built right in, and it pulls up YouTube videos, but they're synced right to the Fret Zealot, so you know exactly where to place your fingers. I gotta admit, that's really freaking cool, and if I was a beginner, I would have killed for something like that. Holy shit. So this will definitely kind of shorten the whole breaking in period, I think, and especially if the instructor is explaining how to hold your hands and technique and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a real great combination right there, instead of just, hey, where's to place your fingers. One other thing I wanted to mention, though, I remember in the early 2000s I was working on something, and let's say if we're doing, like, say, an A Dorian or something like that, or A Phrygian dominant. I remember I was working on a record with a band, and the lead player was out of key, and it sure as hell sounded like that way to me. And the other guitar player in the band's like, yeah, dude, that solo's out of key. And he argued with us and argued, no, it's in key, man. It's in key. You know what? Having one of these on hand in the studio would have just saved us a lot of grief and a lot of argument time. We're like, okay, great. What key are we in? What scale are you playing? We can pull it up and see if the note is where it's supposed to be at that particular time. I'm definitely going to be keeping this on my Strat for exactly that reason, for future reference. So if something kind of goes wonky when a guitar player is soloing, it's like, hey, you can just pull it up and be like, okay, well, why don't you run through the solo on this, and you can show us. All right, you can check out the Fret Zealot at fretzealot.com, and just to make things interesting, watch for an upcoming episode of I've Got Too Much Gear, because I'm going to give this one away. It's for a scale from 24.75 to 25.5, and I think it's really freaking cool. Don't forget to watch for an upcoming episode of that. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on Friday with viewers' comments. Till then, take it easy. Hey guys, if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, as I post every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If you want to learn more about recording, check out one of my tutorials or one of my gear reviews if you want the actual honest truth about a piece of equipment. Till next time, stay metal, my friends.